When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us. Now, here is your host, Cyrus Webb.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Conversations Live, where we connect you with the artists and authors you love. We bring you the music and books you can't get enough of. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. I want to once again thank those joining us here on the radio side of our program, as well as online. Glad you all could be with us once again. If you're looking for a story that is not only inspiring, but also shows us what really the human spirit can accomplish, I think our next guest is someone that you're going to really, really enjoy. Author L.A. Muse is making her first appearance on our program. We're going to be talking to her not only about her book, A Forest of Doors, An Orphan's Quest, but also what it's been like for her to share her very personal journey with the world. A lot of times, we think about the fact that we don't believe that other people can be helped or assisted through our story. I really think by L.A. being able to share what she has been able to not only survive through but also thrive through really will give inspiration for all of us as to what's possible in our lives as well as what we can accomplish. And that's what I got from the book, and I really believe that's what all of you will be able to get from her story today. So that's what we're going to be discussing, as well as what it's been like for her to hear from other individuals, who have been able to hear her story, what it's been like for her to be able to hear from them as far as, how her story has been able to inspire them. After this segment, of course, for our radio listeners, you guys will be hearing our musical mix for the day. Our online listeners, though, for those who come in late throughout the segment, don't worry, you'll be able to catch the entire podcast after we're through, thanks to our friends at blogtalkradio.com. Stay with us. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with our conversation with L.A. Muse right here on Conversations Live.
Is your hope fading fast? Do you feel like it is gone? Failing hope can be awakened, and you have the key. In Linda C. Newberry's book, Say What You Say Is Your Future, she outlines not only the whys of biblical confession, but she gives you a modern-day affirmation that changed her life, and with use will change yours too. Available in paperback and Kindle on Amazon.com and on her website at www.lindacnewberry.com.
We're back with Conversations Live. As I mentioned earlier, today we're speaking to author L.A. Muse. Hopefully, I think we have our connection fixed with the online side of our show now. And we want to thank our friends at blogtalkradio.com for carrying this segment with us. L.A. Muse is the author of the book, A Forest of Doors, An Orphan's Quest. We're going to talk to L.A. not only about her journey of being able to share her story, but also what it's been like for her to hear the response from it. Hello, L.A. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being on with us. Thank you for working with us as we're getting our technical issues fixed here on the online side. Congratulations to you, first of all, on the book, A Forest of Doors. I really enjoyed it myself, and we'll be telling our listeners how they can get their own copy of it. L.A., what has it been like for you to be able to share your story and to see the way that people have been responding to it?
It's been very edifying spiritually and emotionally to be able to share my story with readers that have similar backgrounds and even those that are interested in helping children today that are in the same situation that I was when I was a child.
Right. Well, you take us through not only your journey as a child, but also, your difficulties that you had even as an adult. You give us, a clear snapshot, L.A., into, your experience, relationships. Was that an easy decision for you to make, how much of yourself you wanted to share with us?
Well, it was pretty clear to me that in order for me to be able to use my story and my childhood and my early adult life, that I would have to be honest and put it out there if it was to do the work that it's intended to do.
And, I believe even when I was reading it, I was thinking to myself, about the peace that has to come. Because I think sometimes we hold so much in, and when we're able to kind of let things out, how it really is, a moment where we can kind of excel and just try to say, that I have, been able to not only reflect on, but also learn from the experiences that I've been through. Is that one of the things that you found yourself feeling, that after you had written this, it was not only, in some forms therapeutic, but also, a great relief for you?
It was very therapeutic. The relief or release that I had from writing the book was knowing that was shining a light into a very dark place, and
right.
that it would expose the challenges and struggles that a child starts out with, given those circumstances, and carry it through to their adulthood, and not only understanding why they do what they do and the decisions that they make in their early adulthood would only come from going back into the past and putting some real peace to it. And
right.
in that regards, yes, I have a great release.
And there's another word that I was not expecting to have a lot of relevance to your particular story, L.A., but it's something that really, especially as an adult, that you were able to better understand, and that was the word freedom. You know, you give us a glimpse into what it was like for you to kind of literally come into your own, being able to have things for yourself, to kind of be the one who is in control. And, you know, I think we so often take these kind of things for granted, the simple things that we do, you know, but for you it was not as easy as it may have been for other people. You know, do you find that that's been one of the biggest things that you've been able to share with people about the importance of not only recognizing the fact that we all are worthy of great things, but also that is really what God wants for us?
It was a struggle for me to get to that place, because I never really felt good enough or wanted, and that is one of the huge takeaways that I want the readers to grasp a hold on, is that we are all worthy, and we all are in control of ourselves. Maybe not of things that are going on around us or people around us, but for us, when we make the decision that we're going to be healed and we're whole, because that's how God made us. He made us all whole. So once you realize that and tap into that, then yes, you stand a little bit taller, and I guess that's one of the many reasons I wrote the book, is to perhaps provide insight to an individual that's going through pain or abuse or neglect or whatever dysfunctional situation that they find themselves in, that they will realize that God made them whole and that they are worthy, and they can make the choice to change their life and their direction.
Right. You know, I think that is one of the interesting things. Again, for those who are just tuning in, you're listening to Conversations Live. I'm speaking with author L.A. Muse. She's talking with us not only about her book, A Forest of Doors, An Orphan's Quest, but also what it's been like for her to share her story, you know, with the world. You know, I want to go back to, you know, when you were with the particular foster family that really resonated with me, and that was Mrs. Lord. And she had given you the choice of whether to call her mom or call her Mrs. Lord. And you know, and you had kind of said, you know, to yourself, and were able, of course, to experience it, you know, that I'm not calling you mom. But also, what I thought was interesting about that, L.A., was how, again, going back to the simple things, the things that so many times we take for granted. When she asked you, you know, if you wanted Miracle Whip or mustard, you know, on your sandwich, and you said you didn't know because you'd never been given a choice before. You said you felt lost. You know, that seems like such a small thing. But again, going back to what you said, even as an adult, and that's why I wanted to kind of, you know, go back around, because, you know, I think so many times we don't appreciate what we have. Is that one of the messages that you hope that readers take away from with this book, that, you know, we really should value and appreciate every day what we have, because we never know, you know, when it may or may not be gone?
That is absolutely true, and that is a wonderful thing. One of the wonderful things that happened through writing this book for me was I realized, you know, that my foster mom loved me the best that she could, and it didn't matter how much she loved me. I was compromised emotionally. But looking back on it now, I realize how grateful I was to my foster parents for what they did give me, and they gave me a lot.
I want to go to the issue of faith, and I referenced it earlier, and the only reason I did so, Ellie, because you do talk about a relationship with God, and you said something, and I love what you said so much I actually want to read it. For those who have the book already, it's on page 59. If you don't have the book, definitely make a note of this, because when we tell you how you can get it for yourself, you guys can go here and read. It's under the heading of healing, and this is what you wrote, and I think this is so powerful because, you know, this is a revelation I came to in my own life. I was broken but not defeated. God met me right where I was. He was my father and mother. I read his word and prayerfully sought his will for my life. The very next Sunday, I went forward for prayer during church. I prayed like I had never prayed before. I decided to seek more counseling to finish the process of healing the child in me. I invested a significant amount of time that year consulting with a clinical psychologist. It was a frightening and painful process. But you know what I love about that, L.A., that you talk about that I wanted to bring about? You said this at the end of that page. God has placed very special people in my life at just the right times, and I finally realized I have really never been left alone. And I wanted to mention that because so many times when we're going through a difficult situation, we feel as though no one understands. We feel as though nobody can possibly know what I'm dealing with or have any idea. And I think when I read that, I thought about really no matter what we're going through, you know, that there are people out there who do know. Is that what you're hoping your book does, is show people that they're not alone in what they're going through, regardless of what may have happened in their life, either as children or even as adults, as you experienced, that they're not alone and that there are people there not only who understand, but also who are willing to help?
Absolutely. Every experience that God gives us, every person that he puts in our lives is the perfect preparation for our future that only he can see. So my foster parents were put in my life for a very significant reason, and I learned through the process how valuable that is, and how every person is significant. Every person that God puts in your life is significant in his plan for you. And I was never alone, and the readers, anyone who reads the book, I hope that they fall on page 59, and then that really speaks to them, because you're not alone.
Right.
You're never alone.
So what is your hope, L.A.? I mean, you've been doing other conversations like this, and other people, of course, have read the book and expressed how it has affected them or impacted them. What is your hope for them that this story will be able to do in helping them to understand, you know, not only what you just mentioned and what you mentioned on page 59 about not being alone, but also that each one of their lives have a purpose?
I'd like for them to connect with the fact that we all come from different places. We all have different backgrounds, different cultures. We, each and every one of us has a unique, special story. My hope is that the readers will understand that there's a plan for each one of them, and even in the midst of the most painful situations, we have a choice, and we can take our past, and we can put purpose into that, which that's exactly what I did, and turn that purpose into hope and encouragement for others.
I think that is the important message here, L.A., and I think it definitely comes across in the book. Again, everyone, L.A. Muse has been our guest. The book is entitled A Forest of Doors, An Orphan's Quest. If you came in late and wondering about the reference to the doors, you definitely want to read the book for yourselves. L.A., let our listeners know how they can get their own copy of the book and how they can stay in contact with you.
They can stay in contact with me through a webpage that I have. It's www.aforestofdoors.com, as well as a Facebook page titled A Forest of Doors. They can order my book through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Novo Publishing.
All right. So definitely make sure you guys take advantage of that. L.A., again, congratulations to you on the book. Really enjoyed it. I'll be posting my review on Amazon.com this week. Encourage anyone else who's already read the book to do the same thing. It goes without saying. You're welcome back here anytime.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been my pleasure.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate you working with us through our technical issues. And we thank you, our listeners, both on the radio dial as well as the live, for being with us as well. If you guys came in late and missed part of the conversation with L.A., and for our online listeners, by the time you guys hear this, you'll never even know there were any issues. So that's one of the great things about Blog Talk and working with a great producer. They'll have it edited just perfectly for us, and no one will ever know the wiser. But if you guys did come in late, don't worry. You can catch the entire podcast about 5 minutes after we go off the air. All you have to do is go to our radio website at conversationsliveradio.com. That's conversations with an S, liveradio.com. Also, if you're friends with us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter, the link's already available on both of those places. Head over to facebook.com/CyrusWebb or twitter.com/CyrusWebb. Click on the link there. You can listen to the show completely for free and also share it with your friends using the social media buttons you'll find there. Until next time, I'm Cyrus Webb saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music and, of course, a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live today. You all make it a great one.